All right, and we are live. Welcome, Highfalutin Ski Bum Podcast, episode number 249. It is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, what's up?
249. What does the crowd think of that? Almost a big 250.
Yeah, we took off last week. It's been a little bit crazy. Things have been busy. Summertime. Trying to embrace it.
Sinus infection thing going. It was horrible.
Yeah, you were a little banged up last week. I had some
Yeah.
stuff going on. I had some people coming from out of town, coming from across the pond, actually, really.
That's right.
Yeah,
Scandinavian visitors, right?
Yes, my father-in-law came by to visit this past weekend, and he confirmed that they did purchase that winter cabin.
So he's got a summer cabin and a winter cabin now.
He's retiring at the end of July. He's got a summer cabin on the water, kind of by the Swedish border, and he just purchased a winter cabin. I think you can actually cross-country ski into Lillehammer from there.
Wow.
It's just a few kilometers away, because you got to say kilometers, because
that
it's
would
Europe.
Be cool. You cross-country ski in, and then you ski all day and cross-country ski back.
Well, they're in like a famous, like whatever the famous like cross-country trail is there, they live right off of that trail. Like you just go out a few steps and you're on it. Yeah.
So that's a big cross-country area.
Yeah. So the main, I think it's Hafjall is the big ski town that's like half an hour away. And then Nordfjall, I think, is like an hour away. So he's within an hour of like 3 ski resorts now.
Wow.
In his cabin, in his retirement. So hey man, this could be a potential trip, an annual trip out to Norway. We shall see.
Have to do it, man.
Dude, I have to do it. Yeah.
Gonna have to binge watch Lillehammer and just go on out there. Giovanni Hendrickson
it up. Yeah, so that's why we've been a little busy. Summer, we don't promise you every week in the summer. You know this. We do our best. We broke it up. We had the 2 episodes. We had the Under the Ropes, which I will tell you, we got rave reviews on the Under the Ropes podcast that we did last. And thank you to everyone who checked it out. We do appreciate it. Thank you everyone who's listening to this. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. We're on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Ski Bum Podcast. Also Untapped, at Ski Bum Podcast. We've been not doing so great on the socials. We have to...
Doing horrible on socials. Doing horrible on a lot of things.
We're doing horrible.
Some good, funny shit once in a while.
Yeah, we just need to promote it. We need people to see this. We need to share it.
We need a free intern. I actually looked up the other day how to get an intern from college. It's too much work. We need somebody to just hit us up and be like, I'll do a bunch of stuff for you for free. That's what we need.
Yeah. But if you could rate and subscribe, that would really help. So you do it on the website, you go to your favorite podcasting app, do it there. We have
if you had kids about 14 to 16 years ago, they'd be hitting their prime of like helping out with social media.
We'd be set, but we did not do that. We did not do that, unfortunately.
Well, you got another 10 years before they were
10 years.
Right? Maybe a little 12 years.
I think 13. I think at 13 he could do it. So 9.
Yeah.
He's a smart kid. Question, will he want to?
They'll be doing it at 10. They'll have some other app for like 10-year-olds that is blowing up.
Well, that's the beauty. We need him to kind of tell us what's new, what's cool, what we have to be on. I mean, did we ever set up a TikTok account? Why didn't we?
I was boycotting TikTok. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, you got to go where the eyeballs are. That's the thing.
Snapchat, I think, is coming back with the young kids. I don't know. The 14-year-old in the house is saying he's on Snap. And I'm like, what are you doing on Snap? I'm like, he's trying to get dates. I know it.
Good for him. Good for him.
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Hey, if you know what the hell we should do on TikTok and Snap, hit us up at skibumpodcast@gmail.com. We may have some new sponsors coming soon.
Nice.
So TBD. Hold on tight.
We're in talks.
But thank you everyone for listening. We do appreciate it. Mario, let's kick it off. And before we do, this is going to be an old school episode. We're going to go... We did separate. We did the regular episode. We had the Under the Ropes. It's the summertime. All bets are off. We're doing a combined episode. We're doing old school.
This is the collab. The collab between the two. Bring it together.
We got the peanut butter and the jelly in the same jar.
Boom. So I have my pre-après ski. So this is my right when I get off the mountain, or in this case, out of work. I I decided to try this one, which is the Dogfish Head Slightly Mighty, the low-cal IPA.
Mighty. 95 calories. Look at that.
Yeah, 95 calories. I think it's only about, was it 4 point? It's about 4.0 ABV. So not very alcoholic, but it's a nice, easy drinking. It's actually, when I compare this to the all-day IPA, the Founders, this is a little more IPA-ish. The Founders is a little more pale ale-ish.
Okay.
But it has good flavor. Yeah, it's got more hops than I thought it would.
I'm looking at what you can eat for 100 calories. So you're at 97.
Yeah.
Do you know an apple is 100 calories?
I'm like having an apple. Boom.
It's like an apple, pretty much. A banana is like 100 calories.
Boom. See?
Wait, eating 100 calories in 1.5 bananas. I don't understand what this is telling me.
Oh, now it's 1.5.
I'm asking what does 100 calories look like? But it's like a British website. So when you talk about like stone, they're like, oh, it weighs like 4 stone. It's like, what the hell does that even goddamn mean?
I love when they still use stone. I'm like, that fucking calculation is crazy. It's like even crazier than like centigrade to Fahrenheit.
Okay, here we go. Here's the goddamn American website. Has some normal information. 1 cup of red seedless grapes, 100 calories. Half of a medium cantaloupe. That's a lot of cantaloupe.
That's a lot of cantaloupe.
100 calories. 1 cup fresh raspberries, 60 calories.
Huh. So I've had a lot of fruit right
raisins. Pretty much. You've eaten the equivalent of pretty much half a medium cantaloupe.
Had a little half a fruit bowl right now.
25 baby carrots. Aw.
Aw.
The baby.
I don't think 25 baby carrots would fit in this can.
Dude, how can they? It should be like 20 to 30 baby carrots because they range in sizes. You never know. I mean, they have some that are like the little tiny, like minuscule ones. Right. The ones that are like a thumb. Like the baby carrot range is wide. I mean, there's no
range. Yeah.
Like this is not 100% uniform.
Yeah, not very uniform. And there's always like a few that are just like super tiny in there.
Exactly.
So, in trying to keep with the podcast and keep with having some good beers, I did like that. I enjoyed it. I still like the all day better, and then they have the high low instead of the high.
Oh, you like the all day better?
I think I like the all day better.
Okay.
And then the high low. So High Cigar City, they have a high low. Which
I saw it at the liquor store last week.
Yeah, it's actually really good. It has the taste of the High. It's actually a little less bitter, and it's only 4%, so you can crush those at the beach or something.
Nice.
Not bad. And then this next one I'm going to break out now. So
do it too. We're combining 2 podcasts. Might as well just
boom. I'm doing the King Sue.
Because you used to do the Pseudo Sue, right?
The Pseudo Sue, which is a really Toppling Goliath. It's a really well-rated one. This is a double. This is a double IPA.
King Sue, nice. And so the Pseudo Sue is a regular IPA, right?
Right. So the Pseudo Sue I found in the local store. This one was one of the ones that I ordered when I ordered from
Craft Beer Sellers.
Craft Beer Sellers, because I was like, holy crap, they got the double. So I'm too lazy to go out and look for it. So I was like, oh, I saw it on the website. I'm like, let me get it while I'm shopping.
Nice.
Add it to the cart. So so this is a double. Let me look this one up.
It's a humdinger.
A humdinger, all right. Let's see. Taste it.
Is it super yums?
Oh, this is even wow. This is different than the Pseudo Sue. So Pseudo Sue is more like a regular IPA, a lot of hop, a lot of like good flavor. This one is actually made with citra hops, and you taste the you taste citrus right away.
Okay.
So the other reason I got this, I looked up, the Pseudo Sue, but then I looked up the King Sue. This got a 100 score on Beer Advocate.
100 score.
And it's ranked number 49 on the top, I think top IPAs, but let me see. Or top 250, it made top 50.
Wow.
Yeah, top 250 rated beers, it made 49. So I figured, hey, let's chuck that in the basket and try it because the Pseudo-Sue was, Pseudo-Sue was pretty good. So this one is, a lot of. I don't have a glass. I should chuck it in a glass because they're saying it's got a nice haze to it. But yeah, definitely a nice Citra. You can smell it and you can taste it. Tasting is like very citrusy, very like orangey and lemony.
Nice.
Oh, it's very tasty. I tell you, you have it, and it kind of on the sides of your tongue, it kind of gives you a little bit more flavor, almost like a little juicy fruit flavor. Not as potent as juicy fruit, but has that little fruity aftertaste. 7.8% ABV. So
that sounds awesome.
But yeah, I got 100.
King
Sue, world class. I'm like, got to get one of those. So now that I had it, I'm going to recommend it to everybody because it's pretty damn good. The Pseudo-Sue I liked as well. Have you ever tried that one?
Yeah, I think you may have given me one time.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really good.
And this one is very different than the other one. So very interesting.
Nice.
All right. So that's my little, I got to post this to Untapped.
Yeah. Showing off.
Bragging rights.
You're bragging with that one right there.
So what do you got, Bri?
So I went to the liquor store. I mentioned earlier, my father-in-law was coming to town. You know, he's coming from lockdown Norway and their weird beers they have there. So
they're not able to do anything, right? I'm surprised he was able to get to the airport from where he lives.
They're still pretty locked down over there.
Damn.
Their vaccinations are rolling out slow. Like they can't do a whole lot, but it's getting a little bit better. So I have to have some fun, cool stuff when he comes around as a little, little welcoming treat.
Nice.
You shouldn't go to the liquor store when you're happy. You should be depressed. You should know what you want. It should be shitty. You should pick it up and you should leave. That
just like everybody else.
Exactly. I was in a good mood. I was feeling jolly. I went in there and I was like, I was going to buy a bottle of Maker's Mark. I'm like, you know what? Let's get a fancier bourbon that costs twice as much. Why not? Right?
What'd you wind up getting?
Well, it'll be in a future episode, but I got the Colorado rum cask bourbon.
Oh, nice.
Which I guess can't be called a bourbon because they put it in the rum cask after.
Right.
The word bourbon is not on there. That was awesome though. It was really good. And then I was just scampering around the store. Like, oh, what else can I get? And I got my watermelon Kolsch that I love, which is my summer beer of choice. Oh. And then I have no cart. I'm just still scampering, carrying all my stuff.
Carrying it all because you're just not thinking.
And then for some reason, I was like, you know what? Look at all these goddamn hard seltzers. This is ridiculous. And I have no idea.
A flood of them now.
I have no idea where to start. I'm not buying White Claw because that's what everyone drinks. I'm not getting Truly. You said it sucks.
Oh, Truly's hard. I mean, it's got to be up to everybody's palate. I had the Spanish brand. It's they make all the Spanish sodas. It's Topo Chico. They have a line of seltzers, so I tried those. They were actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm. But everyone's making these goddamn things. So,
yeah.
What did I do? I said, God damn it. I think there's people coming over. I want to have some options again. I saw something cool because you know me, I don't like supporting the big guy. I like supporting the little guy.
The little guy.
So I saw that the good folks at Cape May Brewing have created their own hard seltzer.
Ah, look at that.
So I got a Cape May hard seltzer, black cherry, made with fresh juice.
Nice.
Well, actually, I got a variety pack because they had like the 12 pack.
Yeah.
And there was like black cherry and mango and grapefruit. I'm like, all these flavors sound lovely. So
sweet.
I had the mango, which was good. And now I'm going to have the black cherry, which surprisingly, I thought this would be clear, but it's not. It's like black cherry looking.
Ah, all right.
I don't even know what to tell you. It tastes like
seltzer with flavor.
It's pretty, like, it tastes like black cherry. Yeah, like if you had black cherry seltzer.
All right.
You know, like Polar or LaCroix or LaCroix or any of those.
LaCroix.
LaCroix. I mean, I feel like I'm drinking nothing here. But there is a very juicy taste at the end of black cherries, I guess. And it's always funny how they tell you, like, oh, it's made with juice, with fresh juice. But of course, because it's alcohol, they don't tell you what kind of juice it is.
Oh, was it black cherry syrup or was it all natural or not?
There actually are ingredients here. Filtered carbonated water, alcohol from cold fermented cane sugar, dark sweet cherry concentrate, natural black cherry flavor, sodium citrate, and citric acid.
Nice.
So there you go.
Actually sounds pretty good.
It's tasty. I mean, again, this is something you drink it on the beach. You can drink it all day, all night, and still drive the family home kind of thing.
Very nice.
It's good. You know, it's just 97 calories. There you go. We're in this calorie thing again. So pretty much in the same ballpark as your IPA.
Nice.
What would I prefer to drink? Depends what kind of mood I'm in. Right now, this is hitting the spot. This is
I'm telling you, I was a hater when the seltzers came out. And then my wife's drinking them. I'm like, I don't think they're manly. And now I see all dudes drinking them, and I'm like, I tried them just to see what the fascination was about. And now I'm like, if I'm at the beach, it's really hot out. It's better than a beer sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely could see that. And I was with you. I looked at the people who were drinking those and like, I hate all these people. Like, I'm not drinking their beverage. But again, I saw Cape May Brewing. They've made some really good beers over the years. I said, you know what? I'm supporting them. I'm not buying the big ones. And yeah, this is, I gave it to my sister-in-law too. She was over last weekend and she loved it. She had I think the grapefruit one, and she really liked it. And she's a, seltzer girl. She's probably got 13 different kinds of them in her fridge right now. Like, oh my God, we're going to YOLO tonight.
That's funny.
She liked it. So there you go.
My wife and I, we went through a bunch of them because I was like, all right, she likes them. I was like, let me see what the fascination is. And then I was like, hey, did you try these? We tried the Trulies, we tried all the big brands. And it's like, you really realize it's just like anything else. Like you try them and you have one and you're like, I like this or I really don't like it. Like I got Truly when it was on sale. It was buy one, get one, 12 packs. So I got 2 12 packs. I'm like, how bad can they be? It's fucking seltzer and some stuff. I just don't like the taste of it. So like,
there you go.
I gave them away. Just shared. I was like, here you go. Have some stuff that I don't think is really delicious, but it might be good for you, Yeah. I don't get it. But yeah, it's good that they make a solid selection there.
Yeah. So not bad. So good job, Cape May Brewing Company. Not as good as your double evacuation, double IPA, which is awesome, but it's still solid. Again, well, I think it's actually, it's called coastal evacuation.
Double evacuation.
Double evacuation. Yeah. It's like, dude, you guys got to fucking go now.
Dude, there's X-Lax in this thing.
Yeah.
This thing will make you go.
You got to go. So that was the upgrade today. And you know what? We're not going to Ski News. We're going to take a stop.
Taking
our
a
good
ride.
old friend, the Gondola.
Yeah.
That's how we're doing it today.
So speaking of the Gondola, our buddy Frank reached out, and I may hang out with him next week.
Boy.
So I
good
don't know.
Old Frank and Beans.
Yeah, Frank and Beans coming back. So he's probably listening to this. He's probably getting ready for his trip down here.
He's probably boozing it on his lawnmower right now listening to this.
That's right. And we'll see what we get into next week. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll do a little he may be somehow on the podcast next week. We'll see.
Well, perhaps if you follow us on Instagram at Ski Bum Podcast, you may see some shenanigans posted.
There will be shenanigans to be had.
Well, as we're in the Gondola, there is one story this week, and it's a big one, especially for folks in the New England area. Connecticut, that haven of fun between New York and Boston, the governor's planning to sign legal cannabis bill that is heading to his desk.
Boom.
The Senate voted Thursday to legalize the recreational use of cannabis for adults in Connecticut. The final legislative action for a bill that lays the groundwork for the new industry in Connecticut and attempts to address racial inequities stemming from the nation's war on drugs. The legislation, which passed on a 16-11 vote, now moves to Governor Ned Lamont's desk.
Lamont, you big dummy.
Four Democrats joined all the Republicans in attendance and opposition. 9 senators were absent for the vote. 9 fucking senators. Bunch of lazy, overpaid bitches. Go to do your fucking job, dude.
What are you getting paid for? If I don't show up 9 days to my job, they axe me. But there's a big vote at my job.
These ass clowns getting benefits and pensions for life. They don't even show up to the vote.
They are so they're showboating now at this point.
Pretty much. So this is big. So the governor is expected to sign it in because his administration helped negotiate the final deal. I mean, it was almost like the writing was on the wall. I mean, Massachusetts, legal. New York has legalized. Jersey has legalized. Rhode Island, who knows what they're doing over there.
But Jersey
everyone's surrounding them.
Recreational, though?
They did, but it hasn't actually gone on sale yet.
So they did with the inevitable but. So we'll see how long it takes, but they legalized. So
yeah. So all of them are legalized now. It's getting kind of crazy. It's something, again, 15 years ago, you'd be like, they're never going to legalize marijuana. And now it's starting to, almost half the country is going to be legalized in the next probably year or so.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. So good job, Connecticut.
I kind of feel in Florida here, they're not really rushing to it because it's very easy to get your medical card and just get it. So they're like, it's kind of recreational. You just go in, say something hurts, and boom, you get your card.
The thing with the medical, though, is it's like, do you want to make a ton of money or you make a little bit of money? It's like, Jesus Christ. How in bed with big pharma is your state, is your governor, is are your politicians?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think the medical people are fighting the legalization recreationally because it would ruin their business to some degree. I think they're thinking. Think about why you're going to go medical when you can just get it recreational.
Exactly.
Same stuff.
But it's the same shops, it's the same dispensaries.
Yeah.
But now you have access to probably 30x more customers.
Right. That's what I don't understand. But I think what they have a hook into is
the number of dispensaries. It's like for medical,
the source of the product. Like they have to have their own source. So now they can grow for medical. I don't know. There's something about it that they're not all on board.
Yeah.
Which is suspect to me.
Everybody's protecting their own ace. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
But that's good. Now you got all up there, depending on how quickly they get up online. We have a buddy, I won't name names because I know they have reputations and jobs to protect, but we have a buddy in the New Jersey area that just got their medical card, and I'm like, wow. And he's like, yeah, the only problem is there's a dispensary close to him, but there's not a lot of dispensaries. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the problem. I'm sure with the start of everything. But I'm sure that'll change pretty quickly. Every vape shop, if they can, will turn into.
Well, yeah, he's in New Jersey, and there's such a limited number of places because the medical restrictions under our former fat governor was so limited that most people couldn't get it. But they're really starting to pop up now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's actually spread like wildfire. And he's lucky because there's one pretty close to him already. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So good job, Connecticut. Well done.
Well done.
All right. So now it's time to roll into the ski news and more happy New England news.
Very happy.
The Homelight Killington Cup returns.
When did they brand it Homelight? Was that this year?
I think it was 2019 was the first year that it was Homelight.
All right. It's funny. I love that somebody's sponsoring it and they get their boost from it. But it's kind of funny and it kind of annoys me when they slap their brand on it because then it's like, well, you used to have the Winston Cup. Now it's the whatever cup. You know what I mean? Like, what do you at some point you're like, I don't know what that is. Oh, it's the same race or the same event.
Oh, what the hell is it? Yeah, because it was like, oh, well, cigarettes are bad now. So now it's got to be something else.
Right. But everybody knew it.
The Busch Cup, the Budweiser Cup, something like that, probably.
Oh, that's promoting drinking and driving. Now we got to change something like it's one cause after another. Home Light, I guess. Home Light's what are they? Insurance?
What is Home Light?
Home Light.
It's like a real estate company.
Are they?
Yeah, they find the perfect real estate agent. Sell your home faster. So I guess it's like a brand of realtor.
So they don't really do much. They just make money.
Yeah, pretty much. They just take a cut.
Taking a cut.
But it's so funny too. Like you listen to like even sporting events. It's like it's the Philly cream cheese. 5 minutes of the period left. It's like everything. Like the power plays, guys. The worst is radio. If you listen to like any sort of game on the radio,
they'll start doing a commercial during the play.
They do that, but like everything has a sponsor. It's like, oh, if so and so scores a goal, you get a free Frosty at Wendy's, and it's like if this guy makes 14 saves, it's like you get a free bank account or free checks at your bank for like the month. Like it's just everything that they do.
Yeah, they do like down here. What is it? I think it's the Bucks or the Lightning. One of them when you get like one of the pizza places, like you get like a $2 pizza or something stupid like that. It's like, wow, you get a crappy pizza for cheap. Okay, great. You know, if you're in college, it's perfect. You know.
Yeah. Regardless, Home Light, Killington Cup. So they didn't have it last year because again, last year was the stupidest year on record. COVID happened.
COVID was spreading on every mountain from sea to shining sea.
Every skier got COVID last year on the mountain. Everyone.
Because even though you wear a face mask, that wasn't the right face mask to wear, right?
Right, exactly. Should have wore 6 face masks. Everybody knows that. Yeah. But they pretty much kept the FIS racing series was over in Europe. They had a couple events canceled, but they didn't come to the U.S., obviously, because they were only in Europe. So there was a nice little streak there of about, what was it, 4 years, I think Killington had it.
4 years, yeah.
And it was a great time.
And then they snubbed the U.S.
And then, you know, because of COVID, they didn't get it. But it is back. The weekend of Thanksgiving, November 26th through 28th. FIS Women's World Cup event.
Nice.
And it's going to be the live music and fireworks and parades and movie screenings.
And this is a well-known event. Like, you know, it's funny. I'm wondering how much more traffic they're getting from Europeans coming to Killington to see the event, and just throughout the year to say, hey, I want to go up there. I want to see where the World Cup is or go skiing there. Like there's got to be a bump they're getting from this, which I'd like to see those numbers. That's pretty interesting.
I mean, I don't know how much European travelers are getting. I mean, because think about it. If you're in Switzerland, you're just going to go to the Swiss event or the Austrian event. I mean, maybe for novelty they'll do it, but you're getting a lot of New York, New Jersey,
but, you know, there's Europeans that are like, look, we can go skiing at Killington, and we can go to Boston, we can go to New York. Like they're all within a few hours. I mean,
I'm sure there's some, yeah. But again, it's all the Northeast people who are making the trip up there. Actually, you mentioned England and Europe. I'm actually almost done with the Dan Egan book, 30 Years in a White Haze.
All right.
And it's a great read. It really is a fantastic story. He's had such a cool life. And one of the things he did, he was working for Ski 93 in the 90s. And one of his big things was getting European travelers to come to ski in New England, which was pretty cool.
European people got some cash too to spend. I mean, it's very good to see.
Yeah, so it's going to be another big event, and you know, I wonder. You can make the argument either way. It's either going to be bigger than it was in 2019 because everyone's like pent up and wanting to go there and fired up and excited, or it could be people are a little, you know, still a little reticent, maybe don't want to make the travel. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to be near people and.
Well, you know, if you want to stay at a nice local place on the mountain, very close to the walking distance from the mountain, and you don't mind bunking up with like a lot of people, like if you're not really COVID sensitive, we know a buddy that stays in Pinnacle. It's got a place in Pinnacle that we could hook you up with. And, you know, it might be a lot of money to stay there, but it's going to be better than staying in some crappy hotel.
I wonder if it's possible to hijack the yurt for that weekend.
Oh, set up our own yurt.
Look at me.
Just tent it up.
This is my yurt now.
My yurt now. Just
take like over the yurt.
You got to dress up as Genghis Khan and just take that shit over. It's my yurt now. Yurt it up. Just take over. There's 2 yurts there, isn't there? Isn't there? There's the one main yurt. Isn't there another yurt somewhere else?
I think that's the bathroom.
I'll take that over too.
A secret hidden yurt.
We got the main yurt for the classy guests. And for you guys, we got the other yurt. It used to be a bathroom, but
that'd be so funny if someone just took over the yurt. I mean, that would be a great way for us to get some publicity. Is if we just commandeered the yurt with weapons. It's like, do you have hostages?
No, we don't have to commandeer it like that. All we got to do is show up early, cone it off, put like some construction signs. Like, no, it's closed. Sorry, you can't come in.
If we dig a moat,
a freaking yurt, man. And then we put the ring of fire around and little barriers. Like, get us out of this yurt. We're not coming out, man.
We've boarded ourselves in.
That's where you got to have an escape helicopter ready at all times.
Yeah,
ready to just fire up the birds.
Or one of those Elon Musk boring tunnel machines, and like
even better,
burrow down. El Chapo.
Oh, you get a tunnel El Chapo it.
Why don't we start? If we start tunneling now, we could have the tunnel ready by the time we take over the yurt, and then we could just pop our way out.
I got even better. You know my fascination with blimps. You blimp away, man. You just be like slow riding, blimping away. See you later, guys. Like the Goonies, you just blimp into the sunset.
You could blimp. I'm taking the El Chapo tunnel.
Or you could have a diversion blimp. How about that?
Diversion blimp. Now you're talking.
They're getting away in the blimp. Let's get them. We could catch that thing.
They're going to...
Meanwhile, I Chapoing back out.
You have the Air Force coming after you, like shooting you down.
They go too fast. They can't even shoot it down. They got to get like a 1940s plane to come and shoot it down.
Get a friggin' P-51 Mustang to take you out. That's what they're going to do.
They're like, sir, we can't catch the blimp. It's going too slow. We just fly right by it.
What's the word they use? Like scuttle the fighters or something?
Yeah, scramble them. Scramble the jets.
Yeah, they're going to scramble some jets. They're going to take you out in your blimp.
Even better. Scramble the blimps.
Scramble the blimps.
They have like fighter jet blimps that come get the other blimp. That would be amazing. It'd be like a slow motion dogfight.
Blimp Wars, that movie. Blimp Wars.
A blimp on blimp fight, man. Blimp on blimp crime.
Blimp on blimp crime. That's what I'm telling you. And we're just El Chapo out to Route 4.
That's right.
Popping out right down by that. What's the name of that pancake house? Sweet Treats or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Sweet Treats is at the end.
Sugar and Spice.
Sugar and Spice at the bottom of the mountain. Right across from the what's that museum? The
Maple Syrup Museum?
No. There's a famous artist. What the hell's Norman Rockwell Museum?
Ah, look at that.
Remember driving up? They have that Norman, and I never stopped in there. I was like, I'm so curious to see what they have in there. Probably is he from there or something? Like, I don't know.
Just imagine that. Then you're just popping out. You're in the museum. The cops are there. Everyone's going crazy. Like, where do these guys go? And you're just looking at some Norman Rockwell paintings.
Eating some syrupy pancakes.
Some French toast. The perfect crime.
I'm looking at some art, eating some French toast, man.
I'm a classy gentleman.
Then again, if all the cops are a certain way, you could just be like cleaning that place out too. Huh?
What are you going to clean out from the Norman Rockwell Museum?
I have no idea.
You make some NFTs out of Norman Rockwell pieces?
Yeah, exactly.
The future.
You can't give away the secrets.
Oh my God. I better shut the hell up. You got the next story. And what is that next story?
Next story is how a generation of skiers was robbed of rollerblading and what brought it back.
We were robbed.
I was robbed. So for 35 years, skiing has had a convoluted kinship with inline skating, and that's changing now. And we're proof positive of that because we went to the snow show. Was it 2 years ago now? Jeez,
2019.
Like forever.
A simpler time. It feels like 15 years ago.
Brian spilled a beer on the rollerblader
sorry,
display,
Miles.
And then Miles came over, like, what the hell, man? He's like, oh, sorry, he was cool. He's like,
he was gonna pull off his rollerblade and beat me with the brake. That was his plan.
Beat the shit out of you at the rollerblade.
He's gonna shank me.
And then we found out. I think we met up with him later, like at night, and he still had his rollerblades on. He's like, yeah, I'd never take them off. He's just rollerblades everywhere.
We saw him at like a restaurant, like a bar restaurant.
It was like 12 o'clock at night, and he still got his rollerblades on.
That's the way to do it. He's like Roller Girl.
He's hardcore.
From Boogie Nights.
That's right.
She never takes her skates off, remember?
I wouldn't say that. No.
Well, he's like the manlier version. He's like the yin to her yang.
The mustachioed version of that.
The yin to her yang.
The yin to her yang. Now, but that was cool, and we had that experience, and he told us about the whole,
skate to ski app.
Yeah, very cool. And now I got rollerblades. You got rollerblades. Like, did you get new rollerblades?
I did, and I've used them 0 times so far, but I do have them.
I used mine one time, and I skated like I needed one of those little pushies on the ice. And I went out with Bodie, and he's like skating around. And he's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
I don't know you, bro.
I'm like, dude, I'm old. I haven't skated in a long time. Fuck you.
Yeah. Rollerblading is the most underrated goddamn activity ever. It's so much fun. If you're a skier, again, I played hockey growing up. Before I really got into skiing, that's what I was doing. I was playing a lot of roller hockey. And when I got into skiing, like my legs were ready to do this. I was so much more ahead of the people, like anyone else, like just getting started at that point, because I had the leg muscles, the strength, the same kind of movement as skating. So, and now I love doing it. Like, it's just such a fun thing to do. I have places around here I can go. Again, I haven't done it. I have this whole plan, this vision in my head.
You could go.
Well, I have this vision in my head of fixing my goddamn bike, which has been sitting for 2 fucking months, fixing the goddamn derailleur. But I did, the part which I just got in the mail. Fixing this, biking down to the path.
Nice.
And then rollerblading and then biking back. That is my plan. It will happen at some point this summer.
How about this? You clear out your entire basement and turn it into a roller derby rink. Just go around that circle.
That was my childhood. Like my parents' house, we had this huge basement. I would just skate around the basement. I had a little hockey goal set up in the corner. It was so much fun. It was great. Of course, I destroyed the air conditioning. I destroyed a hot water heater. But you know what? Right. When you're a kid, you're like, yeah, who gives a shit, Dad? Get a new one.
That's right. That's all right. It broke. I don't know why it broke.
I'm sorry, my slap shot is so friggin' wicked. It can't be stopped.
That's right. I got a wicked shot, Dad. You should be happy with that. Don't worry about it. Benjamin will get there.
You should lean into my skills.
Benjamin starts skating around. He's going to be rolling around that basement.
Well, I have taken him out a bunch of times. So I got skates for him too. And I got thing is, like, I have to get him all geared up, and I've been too lazy to put his knee pads and elbow pads on.
Yeah.
I just put his helmet on, and I just kind of hold him just to get him the feeling of it. Because he's not even 4 years old yet. So I'll just
give him a helmet.
Around.
That's it. That's all you got.
That's all. It's good enough.
When you were little, what'd you get? You got a little kick in the ass. Get out of the house. That's it. Yeah. Oh, you got cut. Here's a little Band-Aid. Stop crying like a little bitch.
Yes. So but I would just like take him up and down the street and like pull him and like then I'd back away and let him like skate into me and stuff. So
nice.
I'm just trying to get him comfortable with it. But it's
you got to get a one of those the harnesses for the water skis. Put that onto the car and just take him around town.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. I wound up in jail for that.
That's not dangerous, is it?
Well, actually, my whole plan was actually to take him skating, like me wearing my skates and him wearing his skates. And I could, like almost like what I was doing with skiing, like put the leash on him, the ski trainer leash, and let him go. And then I can kind of pull him back. But he's like, it's tough for a little kid, like to get used to that. But I'm still trying to work through it and get him on there. But he likes doing it. Just he's got like 15 minutes in him and then he's done.
Are there any roller skating places left?
Like roller skating rinks?
Yeah. Like with the 80s music and the lights and the disco lights and shit.
I know there's actually one not too far from where I am.
You take them there. Zip around, get the lights, get little...
Seriously. I know some places didn't allow rollerblades at those places.
Oh, they're purists.
They were purists, yeah.
That's still pretty cool. But anyway, get back to this article. So they're saying 2020 was a momentous year for rollerblading, and they're attributing it, because people were forced off the lifts. They actually started heading out on rollerblades onto their local, bike paths and, going out in ski towns. And even Johnny Mosley, Olympic gold medalist, did a write-up in a video reviving his blading workouts with his kids. And even Wayne Gretzky chimed in with his support. So a lot of like famous hockey players too. I think we talked about this before, like the 80s and 90s, like they were notorious for just like, being seen on rollerblades everywhere because it's great training, off ice training. So why not? So And they're saying also, a big part of the resurgence involved Jay Skis. So Jay Leventhal, previously founding, Line Skis, and we actually talked to him on our podcast. Forgot which episode. That wasn't too far back. That was about
back in January, probably like 220 or something.
As I say, 220, 230, right? Played an essential role in cultivating, popularizing, and solidifying what was originally known as new school skiing. So the new school genre of skiing stood on the shoulders of everything rollerbladers had been doing for about 10 solid years. He helped revive that, and his brand made an astounding move, posting a video of one of its team athletes throwing down on blades in Salt Lake City skate park. So there's a lot of cool things. You see somebody that can skate well, and you watch videos of them, you're like, I gotta get out and try that. So it's pretty awesome when you see it. I remember movies, like there were movies where they had people like running around on rollerblades and like doing amazing stuff. Like, I gotta get rollerblades.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're out there now, and Brian and I are proof positive that you can still buy them. There's still stuff going on. Even Miles, he even turned us on to a lot of events that they're doing through rollerblades, rollerblade.com or wherever it is. And they're doing a lot of long distance stuff, like a lot of night blading, long distance blading. So very cool.
Yeah. And then it goes into, apparently it was like skateboarders who made rollerblading uncool. And they said there was a singular theme that ran through the mockery. Rollerblading is completely gay and bladers are total fags. And again, it's like, I don't know why. I don't know why all of a sudden, like, that was their rallying cry, these brilliant skateboarders. But, for some reason, some people are just such little thin-skinned bitches that hurt their feelings. They're like, I'm not gonna rollerblade because someone called me a name.
Somebody said it's cool. Now we have anti-bullying and anti-shaming, so you can do whatever the fuck you want. There'll be a month for you. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
But yeah, they talk about also how Rollerblade did a promotional spot where they had Team Rollerblade with some sequences, and they showcased rollerbladers with ski poles carving ski turns down a paved road at sunset. And they're saying that style of rollerblading became the company's value proposition to skiers and the foundation of its skate to ski program. I actually knew somebody that was, when I went to Buffalo, he had transferred from somewhere. He was on a ski team, and they actually did the skate to ski during the summer with the poles, but it was only something that, like, at the time that it was really, ski teams would do. So now I'm sure a lot of people train with it off season.
I know my sister uses those roller skis, which they're
longer, right?
They're longer, yeah. But that's actually specifically for cross country skiing.
Oh, cool. That's pretty neat. So you train on cross country, and I'm sure if you get a hill, you can practice a little downhill.
Yeah, for sure. So I never gave up on rollerblading. I've always been there. I don't give a goddamn what anybody says. Whoop their ass. They fucking talk some shit to me.
I whoop a man's ass.
Whoop his ass, whoop his legs, take a skateboard, shove it up his ass.
You still play roller hockey? Or
dude, since I moved, I haven't played at all, which kind of sucks. But when I retire next year, I'm gonna get back into it because it's just super fun and it's pretty accessible.
60 and up league. Oh, dude. Snap! That's you sneak in. You sneak in looking up.
Get into makeup, like put like old man makeup on, so I can play in the old balls league.
Can play. Brian, they'll start paying you to be on their team. It'd be great.
That boy's good. And now I will say, they talk about, a lot of the comments that were made by skateboarders. I will tell you, so I've only gone biking down this one Sandy Hook trail a couple times this year. And I've seen several very attractive, not very young. That sounds really creepy. Like young women, like rollerblading.
Yeah. Dude, down here, there's a lot of people on rollerblades. And like you said, I see a lot of women that are in shape, like rollerblading, and I'm like, wow,
works that booty.
And they're doing it for workout purposes. But I've seen a lot of people, just men and women, just out rollerblading, and I'm like, I'm in a nicer climate, so people are doing stuff all year round, and you get tired of doing the same thing. You're like, all right, I don't want to bike. I want to rollerblade and want to run. You want to mix it up a little.
It's a lot like skiing, man. Like if you're going to be, again, maybe a little cross country-ish, but it's that same sort of feeling. You're working the same muscles. It's going to make you a better skier if you rollerblade.
Yeah. And then like me, you get an electric scooter and you're just like a fat piece of shit riding everywhere.
You're that goddamn guy, aren't you? You're going to get a little golf cart next. So take out the garbage.
Oh, I have neighbors that have the golf cart, but they don't have like a little golf cart to get. They got like a 6-seater golf cart with the freaking neon lights. Yeah, they're gonna get arrested soon. I'm sure.
I'm gonna become that guy. I was looking at boats yesterday because
I was looking at boats. You dancing with you're in a good area for boats.
Well, that's the thing. We walked down to the boat launch area and I saw this boat and I was like, that's the kind of boat I would get. It was like a Sea Ray Sport.
Dude, you gotta talk to Steve. He wants to get a boat. You go halvesies with Steve on a boat.
Well, the cool thing is like where I live, I can actually launch it from my township has a boat launch.
Yeah.
So all I need was like a permit.
Park it.
I could park it next to my garage.
Nice trailer. Park it there.
And I saw one online. I mean, it's not cheap, but it was $20,000 for an 18-foot boat with a trailer used.
Nice.
I'm like, when I get the Bronco, I could tow that shit, back it in.
Dude, I was looking for one a little bit less, a fucking pontoon boat, because down here it's so flat.
Oh, there
that's
you go.
The party on the pontoon boat. It's funny because it's like people look at it like, that's a bullshit lake thing. But you know what? You pull up you're in a pontoon boat. That's a party. I mean, you basically have like a TV, sound system, like fucking toys on that thing. It's great.
You can't even crash with those things either, right? Don't they have like some sort of like fenders almost or bumpers?
Like an anti-hammer lock on it or something.
Bounce off of stuff.
When you get hammered, you can't even drive it. It just floats everywhere you want to go.
Just floats away.
But yeah, they got
beautiful thing.
I know there's boats are a wide range of like. If you get a brand new boat, you're talking about you could have bought a really nice high performance car.
I was looking at used boats. Yeah,
but they're all like. Most of them are used because you're like, all right, I don't want to pay about this much money. You start going up with like new boats. You're talking about you're creeping up into the $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 and plus.
Dude, then like, there's no limit once you start looking. Yeah,
and they're not big boats. Like you look at boats that are like 25, under 30 foot, and like 150,000 for a boat that size. You would think like, all right, I'm getting something really big. Well, you could sleep on it, but it's not huge.
Yeah, it's not like. You're not big pimping or anything on that thing.
Yeah, you're not going to be on TV on what's that, Below Deck or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to my future brother-in-law's father last weekend, and he lives on Lake Norman down in North Carolina.
Yeah, I was on Lake. That's where I went water skiing.
Oh, really?
Nice. Fucking got the biggest like Lake Norman enema ever.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I realized I like snow skiing and not water skiing.
I asked him, I was like, well, so what do you guys use more? The boat? Because they have a boat and they have 2 wave runners. And he's like, well, he's like, my sons love the wave runners because like they can go like 60 miles an hour. Like they
zip around. Cook. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, but he's like, I like the boat. It's like a 29-foot boat. You can have like 10 people on it comfortably.
Nice.
Like you can sleep in it if you want to. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
Like that's a nice size. It's like, and
so
then
our buddy Steve had the
down there they can sleep on the water too. Like they don't have to winterize it if they don't want to because it's warm enough year round. Because like when you live in the north, it's like you got like 4 months out of it, and you got to winterize it and pay for all that shit.
There's only like a month of like bad weather in the Carolinas there.
But you can keep it on the water if you want.
Right, and you could still use it. Just wear a wetsuit or something. But yeah, our buddy Steve, he had 2 wave runners, which he souped up and they were really nice. He just sold one. And I think he's thinking about selling the other one because he was thinking like, I get the 2 wave runners. I get to go out, people are going to want to go out all the time. And he'd go down there and he'd be by himself a lot. And he's like, if I had a boat, now you're talking about the whole family gets on the boat. Yeah. People are like, oh, let's go out on like, it's a little more social. So he's thinking about a boat, I think. So
there you go.
So we'll see.
That's why perhaps he's got that anxiety.
Yeah. See, we have friends that have a boat, and there's 2 schools of thought. One is get a boat and do your own thing. You're your own captain, and then you invite people you want and stuff like that. The other school of thought is just be nice to people and have friends that have boats and get invited to the boat and just be gracious, pay for shit, buy whatever. But there's a lot of work in maintaining a boat usually.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of having the friend with the boat. That's the move.
Well, that's why the boat clubs are big now too. Like down here, especially because it's seasonable, you can boat all year, and they have like that, a bunch of boat clubs. Freedom Boat Club's one of them. So it's like a country club membership. You pay like, a few thousand to get in for your initial, and then it's like you pay a monthly fee, and then you can take out a boat whenever you want.
There you go.
So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
Not having to do the maintenance is big.
Very big. Well, speaking of not doing the maintenance and having a good time, how about a shout out to our friend Ryan and Till I Die? They are setting up the Full Send Summer Music Festival. Why is this in ski news? Well, because Till I Die is a ski company.
Yeah.
Well, so we talked to Ryan a little bit ago. Hope to get him back on the podcast in the next few weeks to talk to him about this festival, which seems pretty cool. They are setting up this Full Send Summer Music Festival on Saturday, July 10th, and will be taking over Radial Park in Astoria, New York. This outdoor amphitheater and live entertainment venue overlooks the New York City skyline on the East River. Accessible by ferry, subway, or car, the facility boasts a 1,000-person capacity for the event. We fully intend on selling out.
Wow.
Their main sponsor is Jägermeister and is hosting all-day cocktails and beer, food, entertainment, and a mini music festival. We the Kings is headlining an insane 5-artist lineup, including the always entertaining funk band Sky Daddy, the super high energy, one-of-a-kind Remember Jones, and the amazing duo of King Margot, not to be overshadowed by the DJ Chris Wonder all day long.
Nice.
Microbrews, alternative beverages, local New York City food trucks, multiple partner brands of Till I Die, and including a 22-foot tall water slide, hammock lounge, carnival games, all-you-can-eat snow cones, and cotton candy.
Boom.
Boom.
That's pretty sweet.
That's pretty awesome. So congrats, Ryan, and Till I Die. This should be a super cool event. Go to their website, tillidie.com, and they will have links there on the homepage to get more info, or go to the show notes section of this episode.
We may try to crash. Just give you a heads up.
Yes, we may.
To say full disclosure, we may try to crash this thing.
Maybe, perhaps.
So next up, we have an announcement for.
Well, it's an announcement of an announcement.
Announcement of an announcement. So IndyPass will be announcing 2 new partners next Tuesday. So 2 new resorts are going to be coming online. We don't know where. We don't know how. But it's coming.
It's coming. And it makes you wonder. I mean, there are so many East Coast resorts already on the IndyPass. Perhaps there will be more out west.
Yeah.
But we have no idea at this point.
I think we should speculate just to throw more bullshit out there, because it's all bullshit news anyway.
Our news is just as fake as everybody else's, right?
I think they're going to add... I think it's going to be something big. What do you think?
I think it's going to be minuscule. And it's going to be a couple places in like Michigan.
I think they're going to have Revelstoke. What do you think?
That's a no from me, dog.
Revelstoke and Kicking Horse. 2 of those. Boom. Yeah. Drop the mic.
I would love to see them grab Elk Mountain in Pennsylvania. That would be super sweet.
Do they have Shawnee covered?
Shawnee's covered.
Boom.
I don't know. Again, I think it'll be some smaller places out west, but cool. You never know. We got time. We'll find out. A couple more days. So it's today. Today is the 17th. So
maybe something in the Buffalo region, right?
Maybe, perhaps.
Right? You never know.
Maybe Peak and Peak. That was a great place.
Well, because they had one out there, but they didn't have them all. So maybe they're all like, hey, this is not a bad deal. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's like there's so many other resorts out there now. I mean, I think doesn't like New York State have like 70 ski resorts, something crazy?
Oh, yeah. Tons of little ones all over the place.
Yeah, and those are the kind of places that are going to get, gobbled up and put on the IndyPass, which is great because
maybe Big Snow.
maybe big snow.
That would be awesome, right? If they did like, oh, we'll just chuck that on the Indy Pass. People are like, great, I could do 2 days there.
Well, big snow, they just announced too. They're actually doing summer camps, which is
Yeah, I
pretty
saw
awesome.
that. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and hoping to get little guy into that next year. That would be really cool.
Well, we're working on something on the inside with them and with another local ski area. Hopefully we get another interview or maybe an on-site visit. Not too far in the future. I know you're already planning something.
Perhaps indeed. Yes, we are.
I will be trying to get into and out of Canada at the time that you're going to be going there.
Nice.
So we'll have to plan another day if I go up, but
very nice. So that pretty much wraps up the old ski news for this week. So now we're going to roll into our main topic. And we don't have an interview this week. So we've decided to go with our new little method where we're taking a story and kind of running with it a little bit more, and
we just talk about stuff
using a little. It's got a little more meat to it than we would regularly have it in the ski news section. So there was a big announcement last week about the Climate Collaborative Charter, which was Alterra, Boyne Resorts, Powder, and Vail Resorts coming together. The 4 largest ski resort companies in North America coming together, I guess, to change climate, to share responsibility on the issues of sustainability.
Right. And to talk about climate change and the industry, right? They're trying to protect the industry.
They're trying to protect the industry because, again, if there's no snow, there's no profit. So that would be a problem for them. So they had a press release that they mentioned, and there's 71 resorts that they own between the 4 groups, and they all believe that climate change is the most critical issue we face as business leaders and as citizens of this continent and inhabitants of Earth. The dramatic rise in greenhouse gases that is disrupting our planetary system and threatening our way of life is primarily human caused and needs urgent attention by all affected. Scientific evidence and firsthand observations of change resulting from weather extremes and volatility is clear and true. The impacts of the forest, habitats, and ecosystem is dramatic and the beginning of the problem we all face on a planetary scale. We must do everything in our power to leave a positive legacy for future generations and to operate and manage our mountain resorts with a commitment to protecting and preserving our environment. So as business leaders, they commit to reduce our energy use whenever possible, climate action and advocacy for effective public policy to shift to a renewable energy economy, strong efforts and goals to reduce waste, be responsible stewards of our environment, share best practices to accelerate change in our companies and communities, support the National Ski Areas Association Sustainable Slopes platform. And then as stewards of the environment, they pledge to incorporate sustainability in all aspects of our mountain resorts, lead by example, and educate employees and guests about sustainability, place collaboration over competition when it comes to sustainability, and advocate for climate protection. So then they go on, blah, 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 political leader, responsibility, humbly and urgently ask mountain resorts, blah, 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 blah. So
they're saying they want to do like introduce sustainability, lead by example, like all that stuff, right? Which it's great. Right there with the ones they had in the room or that have signed this agreement. I mean, that's a majority of resorts in North America, right? Think about it.
It's the biggest ones, pretty much, yeah.
So it's it's interesting. I mean, I like that they're doing it. But it's almost, I used to work for UPS like way back when I started doing technology, and there was always a donation. It was an optional mandatory donation that they made you donate to the the lobbyists that they have in Washington. If you think about it, they're coming out with some really good, true issues to bring to people making laws, and this in a way is similar, but it's also to serve themselves, right? It's because it's their industry, it's their business. This is how they make money, and what the world is defined to them is, so it's good that they're doing this. I mean, they're taking the step to say, hey, we're not just running resorts, we're responsible for, trying to keep our resorts going, number one, but also we're part of the whole ecosystem of, making this better for our benefit, but for everything,
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice that they're doing this. I mean, there's a little self-serving to it, but in the end, it's helping everybody. So why not? It's good.
Yeah, I mean, if they really could do anything, that would be awesome. But a lot of this really just seems like a bit of a, well, look how much we care. Like
Right.
this is, it seems like it's more of just like a virtue signaling gesture than something they're really going to do. And now it's like, well, we're going to ban plastic straws. It's like, okay. It's like,
Yeah,
but now we have
that's a
masks
drop in
all
the
over the
bucket.
place as garbage. Yeah, the things that they're doing, like it's nice that they're making an effort, but this whole press release and this whole thing, there's nothing really tangible to measure. It's not like they're saying, well, we're going to cut our energy use by 30% in the next 2 years. It's all just like, well, we're going to try and we're going to like maybe like do this stuff.
Right. We're pledging to do
We're
this.
pledging to do this.
Great.
Yeah.
But what real action are you going to have? I mean, this is great for PR, and this is great to get people on board with frequenting their brand because you believe in it, in their, their ideals. But what are they really going to do with it? Right. Like, so it remains to be seen. And this is something that will, it's something for everybody to be conscious of too. Like while I'm a little bit more cynical as a person, I think it's very important, especially in this day and age, to not take everything for face value and ask a few questions, because there's so much bullshit on social media and in the news that is not true, that people just take and they run with it. And if you don't look at this and say, okay, great, that's a great step, what comes next? What's going to come out of this? And I think that's where you're going, Brian. That's what we got to ask, right? We have to ask what's going to come next, and what are you going to do with this?
What's the point of this, really?
Right. How is this going to make things better? It's great that you set this up, and this is a good step forward, but this isn't the end of it, right? This is the commitment to starting this. Yeah. And we have to watch to see where this goes, because it's.
And the big thing about this is a North American initiative. All these resorts are North America. Yeah. Who is the number one polluter on the planet?
China.
It is China. So what exactly? It's like
and they have the Winter Olympics, right?
They do have the Winter Olympics next year. And it's something.
The other one's Korea. Sorry.
Again, it's awesome that you're going to do what you're doing in North America. It's like, but the problem, it's like you're already battling for second place at this point. Yeah. No matter what happens, China is number one, US is number two, and India is number three in terms of pollution. So the first and third, you have zero control over. And that's a lot of goddamn pollution from those two countries. And I know they always say like, well, America should lead. America should be the one that makes, we should be the shining star. We should be the example for the world. And right. I get that. And I think that's,
it sounds great if you're in another country, but if you're in America, you're like, where's that money going to come from?
What about if all of a sudden Vail sees, well, I see what's happening here is that by these initiatives, our stockholders are losing 3% of value versus if we did it the old way. Isn't their fiduciary responsibility to do the what's best for their shareholders?
Right.
They're going to have to do the cheaper more environmentally unfriendly thing.
Yeah.
Or the stock price is going to go down and then people are going to sell and they're going to lose more money. So that's where Vails kind of talks out of both sides of their mouth.
Yeah.
And always has. Now they're charging for goddamn parking everywhere. They give you a cheaper Epic Pass. Everyone's all super excited. It's like, oh, hey, and you're going to park for, we're going to pay, charge you for parking this year.
And, it depends on what level you're at too, right? So it's the whole idea too of like, when people talk about sustainable investing, right? So that they're looking at investing in brands and products that do the right thing, right? If you were looking for a sustainable investment and you were looking at somebody that does outdoor sports and you're looking at Vail saying, hey, I want to invest in Vail. Well, what have they done to be a sustainable investment, target? Well, this is something that you would do, right? So in the press and in the hearts and minds of people that are looking to do sustainable investing, this is great. You're like, oh, they're committed to this. But I think what people have to be wary of is what are you going to do with this commitment? And what's that going to equate to? Because it's all great to say you want to do great stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to look at, well, what change did you do? While you want to do things and you might have great intentions, you got to look at the bottom line of what change did you really affect?
We're going to build less condos and build a hydroelectric plant instead. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Are you? And you're going to build more goddamn condos like you always do.
Yeah. I mean, I read a book. It was called, what the hell was it? The Heart and the Fist. And it was about this guy. It's a real story of this guy that was a Navy SEAL. Well, he was a Rhodes Scholar, went to Columbia, I think, whatever. Rhodes Scholar, very smart guy, went into helping the needy, going for causes, and he did what the hell's the it's not Habitat for Evil. He did Habitat for Humanity, but it was the where you go to other countries. Was it Peace Corps? Yeah. So he did Peace Corps for a while. And then he realized when he was in the Peace Corps, he's like, we're helping these people with all these donations, but then the donations get captured and taken away by warlords or whatever in these countries. And he's like, you can try as hard as you want to do change, but if you don't do it in the right way, it's misguided. So that's why he became a SEAL, because he it's pretty messed up. But
I'm doing the same stuff, but with a gun this time.
Right. But he, in his mind, he rationalized it. He's like, look, you have to protect the people and the area before you can actually implement change, because otherwise you're just feeding in, you're just, treating the symptom and not the problem. Right. And I was like, wow, this, is a very different perspective on things. You always think about, oh no, we don't want any fighting. You want to get the people that are doing the bad and the harm out so that you can do the thing that you want to do. And that's, institute the real change and help the people of the area. And I was like, wow, it's pretty profound to think about it that way. But
the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah. But I think a lot of service men and women that get into the services think that way. And it's interesting to see that perspective, But, again, while this is a good, is this the way to go about it? This is great. They could also come out and say, we're going to give 15% of our profits towards an organization to implement change.
The problem is another way to do it. Once you give money away, like you said, kind of said before, like, how is it accountable? Like, right. I personally, what I want? I'll tell you what I want. Every goddamn spring, I got to pay my taxes. I got to fill out all these stupid forms and document every single goddamn thing every dollar earned, all that. Why don't I get a document back to me with a breakdown of where my taxes were spent? I want to see a line item of every single dollar where it was spent. How come I don't get that? That's the same thing that goes with all these donations. It's like, right. If you don't have some sort of accountability for it, how much of it gets just skimmed off the top and put in someone's pocket?
Yeah,
that shit happens all the time, especially when you get governments or big corporations involved.
Well, so there is I forgot the name of it, but it was a documentary on Netflix, and they were talking about all the NGOs that are out there, and they're like, I think I mentioned this before, but the one example they had was, they have all these things where people want to donate clothes to these, struggling nations. Well, they donate clothes. And what the people say in those areas is, you donated clothes, so now you donated shoes. Well, now the local area doesn't have a cobbler, because why would they make shoes when you got shoes coming in and just being donated, right? So now you kill that industry. So they donate clothes. Well, now you have no dressmakers and no people in that local area with that skill, because why do it? We're getting it. So what happens is you build a reliance on the people just giving you stuff, and you don't build your infrastructure in your local area. And it's kind of, why are we going to grow rice when we got a shit ton of rice coming in from America?
Uncle Ben is donating to us.
It's great, but you don't have local farmers. Now they're not farming the land. They're like, fuck it. Why farm it? Because I can't sell my product because it's flooded in by this other stuff coming in. So it's kind of it's a dichotomy. You got to help out, but you also got to help the local grow, and that's one of the big things. One of the things that came out of that, they were like, rather than send us donations, give us small business loans. Give us loans to help start a business locally to do something.
Like the old change. Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, right, for a whole lifetime.
And it's very separate. You donate money to these causes, and it's great. You feel better, and you think you're helping, and you probably are helping in a lot of ways. But I guess it's the whole system, and it's the system behind that donation that you wonder where it's going and what it's doing, right?
There's like an agenda behind it, and you hate to be like pessimistic, but the more you look at these situations, the more you realize it happens. I know one of the biggest ones that's happening in the world right now is the homeless crisis. It's obviously gotten worse with COVID.
Dude, I'm in
but
Florida,
big cities.
It is horrible here.
But like big cities too, like New York and
I write letters to the mayor every week about shit going on.
Dude, big cities, they have like hundreds of millions of dollars allotted for helping the homeless. And do you know how much of that money gets skimmed off and lost? I think I saw an article, like the mayor of New York's wife, she was in charge of one thing. She was in charge of like the homeless crisis and whatever her organization was the one that was going to handle it. There's $850 million unaccountable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like aren't people shouldn't people be like storming the mayor's residence and like demanding answers to that? But you're like, it's just, government.
Right. Well, even a nonprofit organization, right? People are still getting paid working for that organization. Well, while you say they might not be stealing money, they might be giving positions to their whole family, right? So now the whole family, maybe they're not qualified, maybe they're doing some stuff, maybe they're not, maybe they're getting a salary way beyond what they should be getting, but that's money that's coming out of the donations that's going to fund the whole system. And there's a lot of money being made in that system.
And that's why, whenever you donate to those charities, you should look online and see what percentage of their donations actually gets put to use and how much of it goes to overhead, salaries, because a lot of it does.
And then they all have a board of directors. And board of directors, if you sit on the board, you make some money. And what happens is you sit on 10 boards, you make $20,000 each board. Now you're making a shitload of money.
I would be really good on a board.
I would love a board.
If anyone's looking to have board positions filled, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. We'll fight for the little guy. We'll cause dissent. Like we'll take over the
board. They don't meet regularly. They meet once a quarter.
And it's always somewhere dope.
Once a year. Yeah. Somewhere dope. You hang out, you talk about a bunch of shit for a day or two, and then you're out.
If someone could have whatever companies have board meetings in Telluride and Jackson Hole, and there are available board positions, we have a lot of knowledge, experience, intelligence that we could bring to that board.
Oh, we would revolutionary. We would make that board accountable for a lot of shit. We'd be calling people out. We'd be like, I saw you last week. What are you doing? Yeah, we call people out. It'd be good.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we should be on every board related to skiing in the skiing industry. Just saying.
Yeah, and so to kind of wrap this up, I mean, it's a nice gesture, but it really just does seem like kind of lip service. at this point, because again, there's nothing like there's no definite goals, there's no actionable measure. It's all very just kind of open-ended. It's like, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to reduce. You know what will be amazing? Perhaps I'm just being a prick and I'm being wrong, and I'm wrong in all this. They're going to somehow turn snow, they're going to find a way to harness energy from snow just existing. They're going to be 100% snow powered. They're going to have electric vehicles cruising in everywhere. There'll be zero emissions. They'll have magical snow cats that run on air
vapor.
Power, on water vapor.
That's right.
The chairlifts will all run to on people's good vibes. I don't know. Like perhaps that's the world we're going to have.
So I got to say, I'm getting to the end of my après, and yes. I think between that and the fact that we're getting ready for Under the Ropes, and maybe the tincture that I took is kicking in, I agree with you. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's not just lip service. It's a bunch of hot air they're trying to blow up your skirt. Let's put it that way.
A lot of it looks like just a bunch of other ways to be able to jack the price of your lift tickets and passes up.
Yeah. Hey, anybody can put out a pledge. I could put a fucking pledge out to not be an asshole. And you know what? Tomorrow, I'm still going to be an asshole.
You're already an asshole right after saying it.
Exactly. I'm an asshole while saying it, but I'm saying I'm not going to be an asshole.
Asshole while saying it.
You could be an asshole saying it right when you're saying it. Like people would hold up their hand, but like, excuse me, you're being an asshole right now. But like, yes, but I'm pledging not to be an asshole.
Your brain ipso facto to your mouth. Right as you were talking.
From my lips to your ass. But yeah, that's what it is. Like, hey, let's put something out there. Let's get some PR boost out of this. Everybody's going to go back to the fucking slopes. And you know what they're going to do? Somebody's going to make a shitload of money saying, oh, I did a great job marketing. You didn't fucking market shit. You know what? COVID ended and everybody's able to go back skiing and they flooded out to go skiing. Did you do anything great? No. Fucking COVID ended. How about that?
And the CEO jumps in his Land Rover getting like 12 miles to the gallon and is like, I did a good thing for the environment today.
Yeah. Right now is when you should go try to get a job in marketing or something at a ski area. And you look like a genius like a year from now. Like, oh my God, you did such a great job. Yes, we increased 100% of our, user people visiting. It was great. Revenue is up. Bully. Pat each other on the back and have a nice fucking steak dinner.
Cigars and steaks, yeah.
Little scotch, little Angel's Envy. Oh, Rob Report. I saw Angel's Envy. There's a new one.
Oh.
It's I forgot what kind of cask it's, and they were saying it was pretty goddamn good.
Cocktail sauce cask.
Cocktails. Damn. Oh, ribs cask.
Ribs cask. Oh, that'd be so good.
Tabasco sauce cask.
Yeah. Yeah, this is now, you know what? Like maybe there's a way that they could figure out like the carbon in the atmosphere. What if somehow they could pull the carbon out, because there aren't ways to do that now, and turn that into snow? What if they could pull carbon into a device to make new and improved snow? Imagine the snow is better because they're pulling it from the air. Maybe they can mix Angel's Envy with carbon from the air and make better snow.
All right, so this is the limited Angel's Envy finished in Madeira cask.
Madeira?
I don't know what Madeira is, but as they say, it's goddamn delicious.
Mucinex? It's a Mucinex cask?
Mucinex cask. Ah, that would be fucking medicinal. You'd be like,
dude, I don't feel so
cold, kid. Have a little Angel's Envy.
Mucinex.
What do you give to your kid? Have a little Angel's Envy.
Why don't they finish? To sleep after. Why don't they finish off any medicines in casks? Perhaps we're missing out.
Bourbon in medicine cask. I like that.
Well, they could do both. Like, what about like barrel aged Mucinex?
Got a bullet bourbon that was aged in like a Formula 44D cask.
Old school NyQuil.
Old school NyQuil.
Macallan
finished in a NyQuil cask.
Macallan finished in a NyQuil cask.
Can you imagine
goddamn delicious
in a NyQuil cask? That's
what I'm talking about.
Fucking bam. Old school.
It's like, you won't have a single disease because you'll be dead.
Dude, this cures corona. It cures COVID, man. I don't know.
But yeah, like I feel like,
what was that paint I was talking to you about? What the fuck was it? It was in Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Was it Barcelona or no? It was a different city. Shit. It was
Madrid.
No. Balboa?
Malaga. You say it was the Dali Museum? No, it wasn't Dali, right?
Yeah, man, my brain is just, those two brain cells are just bumping into each other like a bunch of idiots.
Stupid weird.
Like fucking stooges. They're just
again, they pledge these like little magical fairy, like not going to do anything things, but I'd be like, we are experimenting with pulling carbon out of the air to make new snow.
I put in a search for Balboa paint flags, Art Balboa paint flags, and all I got is fucking Rocky Balboa American flag paintings. Dude, there's so many of them. I feel bad as an American.
If I could change, you could change.
Made up.
Everybody could change. Yeah,
dude, that I always think about. Anytime I think about Rocky Balboa and any tribute to him, I think about the rant, the Philly rant.
Bill Burr, yes,
the Bill Burr Philly rant. Holy shit! I played that for a few people, and I prefaced it saying, "This is pretty tough to take. And I just want to let you know." Oh no, this is good. And midway, they're like,
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining. Fuck you. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was so great.
You got a statue to a fake guy, not even a boxer.
It's like the only reason he won is because that's how it was written in the script.
That's right.
And you dummies love him.
Oh man. Oh, it's the Guggenheim.
The Guggenheim.
Let's see. Sweet.
What about Avail claimed that half of all their sweatshirt sales, all the money, will go towards a carbon neutral snowcat? I want tangible goals. This is all just very loose, hippy dippy.
I like that word, floose.
Floose.
Because it's like full of shit and loose. It's floose.
Yes, floose. Like
full of shit and loose.
You know that guy in the bathroom, man? He's friggin' going floose in there.
Floose. All right, so it's in Bilbao, Spain, the Guggenheim Museum.
Bilbao, Spain. There you go.
Bilbao. So they did a treatment on these banners around town, and they say the treatment they did converts, it purifies. All right, it's based on the natural process of photocatalysis, whatever, which leads to the purifying effect similar to that of trees. And they said they put them around town, and it has the effect of about planting 700 trees. And they said the technology was developed with NASA using Spain for Shiseido Cosmetics ad campaign design in Madrid. So it's Pureti paint. That's the name of it. Pureti, P-U-R-E-T-I, print processing.
Very cool.
So they're saying they could put this shit around town, and it turns it into like a carbon neutral environment instantly.
Look at that. Paint the snowcats with that.
Hey, you got a lodge. What did you paint the outside of it? It better be Pureti paint, because that motherfucker better be like carbon neutral.
How about all the slopeside condos? Paint it with that.
That's right.
The skis. All the skis.
All right, I just sent you the name of it. Pureti print. Use the power of light.
I love it.
I'm gonna paint my house with this.
Well, that's kind of how we feel about this whole thing. I hope it is a positive thing. It moves us towards a more sustainable, shinier, happier ski environment. That would be great, but we shall see. So if you want more information, go and check out the links we have on our site, skibumpodcast.com. Mario, now it is time to go under the ropes.
Slipping under.
And speaking of sustainability, United Airlines, that is, have announced they are working with the company Boom and have promised to buy 15 of Boom's Overture airliners, as soon as they pass regulation testing. What is a boom airplane? Well, boom is a supersonic jet.
Nice.
We have talked about this.
Freaking, yeah.
We've talked about this probably 15 times over the course of this podcast. Why the hell have they not come up with supersonic travel since the Concorde was gone?
That's right. Why is there, with all the modern technology, you can't just do what the Concorde did, right?
The Concorde came out in like the 60s, didn't it?
Dude, that thing was around for fucking ever. I think they ended it in the 80s, right?
No, it was like almost 70s. 2000, wasn't it? The last Concorde flight?
Let's see.
I think it was pretty late. 2003, so, yeah.
Operated from, 76 to 2003.
Oh, 76 only. Okay.
Yeah. But retired October 2003. That's after they crashed into like a fucking hangar. They couldn't lift off or something stupid happened.
Yeah, they had a couple of accidents in there. Not good. It was such a cool looking plane too.
But dude, back then, like your sister-in-law, I think said did she fly in it once? I don't remember if she said she did, but I think she said the ticket was like 14 grand to 20 grand back then. And I'm like, that's back then.
That's when 14 grand was 14 grand.
Yeah. Now it's like, that's chump change to some high rollers.
Yeah. I wonder what this is going to cost, but I mean, 2029, I mean,
that's pretty far out.
It's pretty far out, but dude, like imagine that. Say you could fly like anywhere in the world in like 4 hours.
Yeah. So Melanie, she used to work for United, so we fly standby with her benefits. I told her, I'm like, we got to get a seat on that motherfucker going anywhere.
Dude, seriously, right? How epic would that be?
There's probably no way we're going to get access to that.
Yeah, probably the first couple of years, it's going to be all booked up.
No, it's probably not even a part of the program. They're probably like, yeah, it excludes this new shit that we just added.
Yeah. It's like, why are you flying supersonic from Tampa to Knoxville?
Get there in 5 minutes.
6 minutes. Yeah.
That's right. It's like a subway. This is fucking great.
Yeah.
They didn't even land. They just drop you off in a parachute.
Still be awesome. If you're there in 6 minutes, it'd be worth it.
Dude, they should drop you off in a parachute. That'd be great. Just like boop. They keep flying and they drop you off in a little pod that turns into a parachute.
Right.
And you're off.
It's kind of sweet.
We did our drop.
I am a fan. So we'll see. Again, it's still 8 years out at the very least, but it would be so cool to be able to go to Europe in like 3 hours, 4 hours. You know, you're going to Switzerland, you're going to Zermatt, just boom, 4 hour flight.
Dude, the problem is now, I don't even think the flight's going to be the problem. The problem is going to be, do you have a COVID test? Do you have a hair sample? Do you have a fucking jizz test? Like, there's going to be all sorts of shit that they're going to get at the border now. Like, I'm sorry. It's going to get out of hand before it gets better.
You're going to need your pap smear identification, like everything.
Yeah. Yep. You're like, well, we know you have HIPAA laws in the U.S., but we don't give a shit when you come into the country. So do you have this, that, and the other thing? Why, yes, I do. Great. You can't come into the country.
Well, we're trying to stay a little bit positive here.
Yeah, I'm a little bitter.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm looking into it now, and I got the full force action and the fear because we're trying to cross a border next week, a week and a half. And it's going to be a shit show. I'll tell you that.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Thinking. So I'm thinking.
It's going to be all right. We're going to stay positive.
Guys, just stay positive. But I'm always prepared for the worst so that you got to be ready to, head on a swivel.
Duck and run. Duck and cover. Yeah.
But speaking of fans, Rick and Morty is coming back. New episodes begin this Sunday.
Nice.
So, let's talk about Rick and Morty. If anybody that's listening or watching the podcast has not seen Rick and Morty, what the fuck, man? Right? Like, WTF. Like, you got to see that. Because
if you enjoy the humor of our show, you'll probably enjoy the humor of Rick and Morty.
Right. And you can't even get the humor of some of the jokes unless you see it. Like, there's a level of, like, understanding you have to get.
How about the whole thing? Did you, the episode with the dragon last season? How the dragon was like all like perverted and stuff.
Yep.
Morty wanted a dragon and it's going to this weird dragon land. And they're all like, banging.
They're all like banging dragons. Like it's fucked up.
It's super weird.
Yeah.
And our description is weird. It's weirder than we're even describing it, I assure you.
That's just it. You can't even describe it and talk about it because there's no frame of reference. Like it's all over. Like bird person, like you can't even get that.
They just brought him back too, right? At the end.
He's like a cyborg bird person though, right?
Yeah.
But even like where the set of balls was mad about the time travel and they beat the shit out of Morty, out of Rick. Remember at the end of that one episode? Like you can't explain that episode. Like try to explain that one episode to somebody and you just sound like an idiot. And they're looking at you like, I don't know what you're talking about. These gonads kick the shit out of him. Time travel. Like what?
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick is mainstream though, I think. I see shirts, Pickle Rick.
Yeah, it's true.
Like that's the only one, but people don't even know what Pickle Rick.
That's understandable. You can wrap your head around Pickle Rick.
Yeah. It's more of a superhero episode.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of also superheroes, Jeff Bezos. That guy's a superhero, right? Not really. Just a rich guy who's...
He's like a Batman. You got money. What's your talent? What's your special power? I got money.
Well, he's kind of more of like a villain, I think, isn't he? More of like a Green Goblin kind of rule, like bad guy.
Bezos?
Yeah. Seems a little Green Goblin-ish. Isn't that the right one from Spider-Man?
I don't know. Now that Elon Musk is being a dick with Bitcoin, I'm thinking maybe Jeff Bezos is the Spider-Man to his Green Goblin. I don't know. I don't know who Spider-Man and who the Green Goblin is now.
That's the thing. We shouldn't even have heroes anymore. Everyone's just kind of like, used to be back in the day, you'd have the good guy and the bad guy. And now you just have no idea who's what. People switching roles. It's like wrestling, like one moment Hulk Hogan's your hero. Next minute Hulk Hogan goes bad. And you're like, oh my God, he's evil Hulk Hogan.
That's right.
Yeah. You don't even know
I think
anymore.
they're all bad. How about that?
Rob, that's the safe way to look at things.
The safe way is they're all bad.
So for some reason, a growing number of people online are urging the world's wealthiest man, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, to buy Leonardo da Vinci's famous Mona Lisa painting and eat it. An online petition posted by Kane Powell and signed by over 4,500 people is titled, "We want Jeff Bezos to buy and eat the Mona Lisa."
Wow.
Nobody has eaten the Mona Lisa, and we feel Jeff Bezos needs to take a stand and make this happen, reads the single sentence petition. The Mona Lisa, famously housed at the Louvre Museum in Paris, is owned by the French state. Despite its absurdity, or perhaps because of it, the comical petition continues to gain supporters and draw media attention. Most amusing are the comments left on the petition's page by supporters, starting with Angel Flores from Phoenix, Arizona, who wrote, "Gobble de Lisa."
That's awesome. Gobble de Lisa.
This is the most important petition in modern times, argues Abhishek Ranjit from Kathmandu, Nepal. Jeff Bezos needs to eat the Mona Lisa to save the world.
Save the world.
There are now 8,884 who have signed. They need 10,000.
Damn.
It keeps going up. Now they're at 8,000. 8890 we're at now. It keeps ticking away. Should we sign it?
So this is the weird stuff, right? So people are saying it. Most of them, hopefully, as a joke. Some of them probably seriously. And then there's the guy from Toronto that made the case saying it's available online anyway, and therefore we don't really need the original anymore. It's like, really? So because you have a copy of something that's better than the original, like, I don't know, man. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
That's like saying we don't need Wayne Gretzky anymore. Just shoot him in the head. Like, he did his time.
Oof.
That's good.
It's pretty harsh.
He's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
We've got his daughter, Paulina, on Instagram.
Yeah, that's all we need.
That's all we need.
She's there. Then again, we have her tweets and stuff, so we can get rid of her too, right? Like, the fuck?
Also useless. Get rid of her. We can do like a new AI version of her. It's even better.
Dude, for that matter, we could just get rid of all social media. Just AI it.
Dude, I'm reading that friggin' The price of tomorrow.
How do we get a Scheme on Podcast AI?
It would just keep saying the same crap every time. Like, oh, Bill sucks. Oh, this beer is really good. Oh, it wouldn't be that hard. It'd
Beer's
be like,
good. This sucks. I took too much weed.
It'd be like a second grader's like AI project. It'd be the most easy thing to accomplish.
It's all farts and boogers. I don't know what these guys are doing. They're like on the 5th grade level.
Such a limited range of things we go out on a limb on and say.
We're not as classy as Gobble the Lisa. We couldn't come up with that.
God, it's you know what? It's short. It's
poetic.
To the point. It's almost like a haiku of a haiku.
That's right. Now, is it Angel, or is it Angel Flores? I don't know.
Angel, yeah.
I like Angel, yeah.
Gobble de Lisa. I'm sure. You know what? I'm sure Angel is already selling Gobble de Lisa t-shirts.
Oh, and it's some other chick named Lisa on the shirt.
Lisa Simpson on there.
That's right. So I love how at the bottom of it they say it is not recommended for anyone to eat an oil painting.
Well, thank God the lawyers were there to make sure that message goes out there, because I was very much considering eating all the oil paintings in my house, which is actually 0.
Oh, and they're saying a famous example of its inadvisable effects is Vincent Van Gogh, who is said to have tried to poison himself by eating paint and drinking turpentine. Dude was crazy.
Yep.
Crazy genius. He was crazy awesome.
What about you start making your own like tincture? What about like cannabis oil painting? Then you eat that and you just get super trippy. Like you just trip out.
I wonder if we could just do a petition for Jeff Bezos to eat like 10,000 milligrams of THC at one time.
We'll make a mini weed and acid Mona Lisa painting and have him eat that.
Oh, in space.
In space.
Fucking weightless. Can you imagine the freak out he would have being confined and weightless?
Dude, imagine that's like his new TV show. Like Jeff Bezos eats the great works of art in space.
On weed. That's it.
That sounds like a goddamn Rick and Morty international cable TV show.
Dude, that would be the only reality show I'd want to watch.
Jeff Bezos eating masterpieces in space. That's a great goddamn.
Instead of Masterpiece Theater, like Masterpiece Eating.
Masterpiece
Guy Fieri, like prepare
eater.
For him.
Oh my God, Guy Fieri preparing masterpieces.
Oh, look at that! I'm preparing the Mona Lisa. He's gonna eat that. That's money, dude.
Oh yeah, we're definitely in Flavor Town now.
Oh, that's good. That Mona Lisa is pretty good.
Oh man, there's lots of oil in here, and there's some papyrus. Is that papyrus? Yeah.
Yeah. Get that.
Up chop.
So what gets me is, how did this all start, and why the Mona Lisa of all things?
I think it's because of weed.
Weed.
Someone got super high and said, "I think Jeff Bezos should eat the Mona Lisa."
I think you should eat the Mona Lisa.
This picture of Jeff Bezos from this picture, he's like looking at me.
Yeah, it's freaky.
It's like, I know what you did. I watched it,
Bezos.
And I liked it. And I'm gonna draw a picture of it in space.
In space. I want to ride my rocket and draw the picture of it in space so everybody can see.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, who knows? Maybe he will actually do it.
Well, think about it this way. If he steals it and goes to space, he's in non-world.
He's in intergalactic waters.
Intergalactic waters, right? So he's not regulated by anything.
There's no laws.
Right. So he could eat it in space and not break any laws. Be like, I ate it. What'd you do? I ate it.
Or what if he's able to
come back in the frame?
What if he he wears it on his head? He's like, woo, woo, spinning around his neck. What if he beams it to his spaceship?
Ooh, maybe that technology exists. We don't know about it.
Like perhaps it's like the new era of like Ocean's 11.
If he could beam it into space, why does he need a goddamn spaceship to push him up into space? He can just beam into space.
Well, I think he has to fly over the Louvre, have it beam up, and then go into space.
He just beam them both into space. ISS, he's there in 2 seconds, going eating the goddamn Mona Lisa. And they don't even know. They're like, we thought we saw Jeff Bezos eating the Mona Lisa on the ISS, and then he disappeared, and we don't know where he went.
Like, I believe he was using ballistic spork to
He
eat
used
Mona
spork,
Lisa.
he eat Mona Lisa, he cursed, he disappeared.
Ketchup packet and spork to eat Mona Lisa.
He cursed at us, he disappeared. I don't know what happened. I go to bed. It's fucked up.
I have no idea what's going on anymore.
Jeff Bezos hunts the ISS. Comes up, shows up anytime, like eats another painting. I don't know. I saw him in the bathroom before eating like the fucking Scream. I don't know what happened.
What's he going to eat next? We don't know. Tune in next week to find out.
On Masterpiece Eater.
Masterpiece Eater. Intergalactic Masterpiece Eater.
Oh, that's great. Eaters in space.
Well,
paints in space.
I guess we're going to find out what happens with that.
I don't think he's going to eat it.
If I were a betting man, I'd go with no as well. But you
I
never
guess
know.
It's not for sale, right? But if you have a lot of money, can you just be like, well, Mona Lisa's for sale now?
Dude, everything is for sale.
Maybe he could eat a Banksy.
Maybe he could eat a Banksy.
Maybe he could eat Banksy in space. So he tricked Banksy into getting on the spaceship with him, goes into space, and then proceeds to cannibal action Banksy and eat him.
Wow,
that's just the artist. And
that's got super dark. That's how we discover who Banksy is, because Jeff Bezos is eating him.
That's messed up, man. And then you could have Christo come out and cover everything in a blanket.
There you go.
In space.
In space.
Like art on art on art. How about he has Banksy eat the Mona Lisa? He eats Banksy. Christo eats them.
It's like Inception. It's the plot of Inception 2.
God damn, it's a Hannibal Lecter version of Inception.
It got super weird. But that's kind of what happens sometimes. It's the summer.
You got the art, you got the Banksy, you got the Jeff Bezos, you got like...
Well, then does art imitate life, or does life imitate art?
And they could all eat turducken to start the whole thing.
Turducken.
Boom.
Human Centipede 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, Human Centipede in space. What the fuck's going to go on next?
Human Spaceipede.
So you could basically redo anything in space.
Pretty much. It just changes the whole landscape.
The outsiders in space.
Cobra Kai in space.
Cobra Kai in space.
Yep.
Man, you don't let them take that. You don't come into our moon base and disrespect our master for that.
Intergalactic karate.
We do karate in space.
Yep.
Do space karate.
Space karate.
I do space fu. Space kung fu. Like, yeah.
Well, on that note,
oof.
Thank you so much for listening to this madness. We really do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Go to your favorite podcasting apps, rate, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Check us out. Follow us on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped at Skibump Podcast. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Got swag on the website, skibumpodcast.com/shop. Thank you again so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Stay high, stay falutin'.
See ya.